Italian versus Japanese suits. These are two of the most respected suit-making traditions on the planet, and one of them learned everything it knows from the other, then arguably perfected it. By the end of this, you will have a very strong opinion about which one deserves your money. Let's clear something up first. When we talk about luxury suiting, Italy has dominated for decades. The names alone carry weight. Kiton, Brioni, Zegna, Canali, Isaiah. These houses have dressed James Bond, Hollywood royalty, and every man who has ever wanted to look like $1 million without saying a word. But there is a quiet revolution happening out of Tokyo and Osaka that the menswear world cannot stop talking about. If you have not been paying attention, you are already behind. Let's start with the Italians because, honestly, they started all of this. Italian suiting as we know it exploded in the 1950s. Brioni, founded in Rome in 1945, debuted what they called the Roman style at the very first men's fashion show at Pitti Uomo in 1952. Think about that. Before Brioni, the idea of male models walking a runway did not even exist. They literally invented the concept. The following year, Gregory Peck wore a Brioni suit in Roman Holiday. The film won Best Picture, and suddenly every man on the planet wanted to dress like he was strolling through the streets of Rome with that sense of sprezzatura, that studied carelessness that defines Italian style. Now here is what makes Italian suits genuinely different from everything else. Italy is a Mediterranean country. It is warm. Nobody wants to walk around in a heavy, rigid, structured British suit when it is 30 degrees outside. So Italian tailors said, forget the armor, and focused on making something that actually feels good. The result is a suit that prioritizes silhouette, movement, and lightness above all else. Not all Italian suits are created equal, and this is where it gets interesting. Naples gives you the spalla camicia, that gorgeous shirt shoulder where the sleeve is intentionally cut larger than the armhole, creating small pleats called rapecchia. They are not flaws, they are a badge of honor. That shoulder allows you to gesture, to move, to live in your suit instead of just wearing it. Neapolitan tailoring is loose, expressive, almost rebellious. Houses like Cesare Adolini have perfected this approach alongside Kiton, both representing the pinnacle of soft Neapolitan construction. Then you go north to Milan, and it is a completely different energy. Milanese tailoring is sophisticated, precise, unapologetically modern, with clean lines and sharper structure, the suit of a man running a boardroom. Florence sits somewhere in between, restrained and natural, where the shape comes from the careful ironing and hidden darts rather than heavy construction. The craftsmanship numbers are staggering. A single Brioni suit takes over 22 hours of handwork across more than 200 steps, with 220 people involved in the process. Now owned by luxury conglomerate Kering, Brioni maintains these traditional methods. Kiton takes it even further. Their standard suits require 25 hours, with up to 45 tailors touching each garment, often working with premium materials like Super 150's wools and even Vicuna. And then there is the K50 line, where master tailor Enzo Dorsi spends 50 hours on each suit and only produces 50 per year. You want exclusivity? That is exclusivity. Price reflects all of this. Kiton ranges from $6,000 to more than $50,000. Brioni's Vanquish 2 collection sold for $43,000 per suit. Zegna sits at $3,000 to $20,000. Even Canali, the entry point for serious Italian luxury, starts around $2,000. So where does Japan come into this story? Right here. And this is the part most people don't know. Japanese men only started wearing Western suits after the Meiji Restoration in 1863, and it was not widespread until the 1930s. The Japanese acknowledge where suiting came from through their word for suit, sabiro, which sounds remarkably like Savile Row. But here is the twist. While they borrowed the concept from Britain, Japanese tailors fell in love with Italy. Starting in the 1980s, young Japanese craftsmen began traveling to Naples and Florence to apprentice under master Italian tailors. They spent years learning the soft, unstructured Neapolitan approach, the handwork, the philosophy. Then they went home and did something remarkable. They applied Japanese precision, that almost obsessive attention to detail embedded in their artisan culture, to Italian techniques. The result is something the Rake magazine described perfectly. Where Italian tailoring is louche, Japanese tailoring is both soft and sharp at once. Take Noriyuki Ueki, who goes by Chichio. He started at Ring Jacket, spent 5 years learning the fundamentals, then left for Naples to apprentice at Sartoria del Core and under Antonio Pasquariello for nearly 4 years. He came back to Tokyo in 2015 and opened his own shop. His suits start around $5,200, and they deliver something uniquely compelling, a Neapolitan soul filtered through Japanese discipline. As he puts it, the heritage behind classic Italian suiting is impeccable, and Japanese craftsmanship is very exquisite. He married the two. Ring Jacket is perhaps the best example of this fusion reaching a global audience. Founded in 1954 by Joichi Fukushima with the wild ambition of making ready-to-wear suits that could rival custom garments, Ring Jacket pivoted to Italian-style soft construction in the mid-90s and never looked back. Today, their suits range from $1,600 to $2,400, with made-to-order options through the Armory at around $2,750. That's an absurd amount of quality for the price. And this brings up the elephant in the room: value. Italian suits carry decades of brand equity, Hollywood endorsements, and the romance of la bella figura. You are paying for the name, the heritage, and yes, the craftsmanship. But Japanese suits offer arguably comparable handwork, sometimes even greater interior finishing and stitch precision, at a fraction of the cost. A Ring Jacket suit at $2,000 goes toe-to-toe with Italian offerings at 3 times the price. That is not an opinion. That is what the menswear community has been saying for years. There is a legitimate debate about construction. Some purists point out that Ring Jacket uses half canvas in several of their lines, including their top-tier Meister Collection sport coats. Half canvas construction means the canvas extends only from the chest to about the waistline, while full canvas runs the entire length of the jacket front, providing more structure and longevity. The question is whether this represents a meaningful quality difference, or if the obsession with full canvas is overrated. It depends on who you ask, and honestly, it depends on what you value. Alan C., co-founder of the Armory, nails it when he talks about Japanese tailors. Young, promising tailors are very committed to their craft. This commitment, almost an obsession with details, is in the culture. When you combine that cultural DNA with 70 years of studying and refining Italian techniques, you get something that feels genuinely new. So which one wins on style? Here is my honest take. If you want romance, theater, and the weight of history in every stitch, go Italian. Nothing in the world feels like sliding into a chiton or walking into a room in Brioni. That is 100 years of tailoring tradition draped across your shoulders. But if you want precision married to softness, extraordinary value for the craftsmanship, and the thrill of wearing something from a tradition that is still evolving and hungry, Japanese suiting is one of the most exciting things happening in menswear right now. The beautiful irony is that Japanese tailoring exists because those craftsmen loved Italian suiting so much they crossed the world to learn it. And now, Italian houses are looking east and paying attention right back. In luxury fashion, that kind of mutual respect between traditions is rare. For us, The guys who actually get to wear these suits, it means we are living in the golden age of tailoring, whether we reach for Naples or Tokyo.